So we have the privilege of having with us Sheldon Edwards with us here, a man born on the island, left in 98, doing some outstanding work, not only in the UK, but across the world as well. Sheldon, how are you doing? How's the family doing? How's Qatar?
Yes, boss. Yes, sir, man. You know, it's already.
Nice, nice. So tell me about, we're on the island, you're born and thing, and if you're, doing cutting here on the island as well.
Yes. You know what? The breeze is crazy. Let me just go inside, right?
Yeah, man.
Hold on 1 second. Joel,
No
I'm coming. Yeah?
problem. Yeah, man, no problem.
I think it's better I do it inside. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man, that's fine. No problem. Yeah, man, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. You're good, man.
Okay, yeah, man. There.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I was asking in terms of when you're on the island, where on the island you're from, and if you're cutting here on the island as well.
Well, I was born in Macon, Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Glenmere High School. When I was about 9, 10 years old, my granddad had a barbershop. He passed before when I was about 3, 4 years old, and he left the barbershop to my dad, who know nothing about cutting hair. And I became like a watchman, so I have to go to the shop, make sure that all the barber them in check. And Jamaica barber thing already. The barber them move a bit shady, so you have to make sure so you protect your father income. So I was a watchman, security. They didn't like to see me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never even like to see when I was there. So while I was there, I just started to just kind of imaginary capture most of what they were doing. And it was about 4 or 5 guys, and I just watched what they were doing, learn from that. But nobody want to show you nothing. Imagine as a watchman in the shop, the last thing they want to do is show you anything, right? So I just had to just look for myself, learn, and I just made it into my own look away, the HD way, formulated my own talent.
Yeah. And for you, would you say that's where you develop the passion and desire that this is what you want to do for a living in your life?
I realized was my passion. It was always my passion long before I realized that's what I want to do. Because ideally, I was one of straight A student coming from Glenmere. I wanted to be a doctor. Well, maybe a doctor I am right now, doctor for a year. Maybe you can say that, Doctor HD, maybe. But I didn't fulfill that going down the medical route. So when I came to the UK in 1998 as a kid, I just see my mom struggling too much. My mom was doing like 4 or 5 cleaning jobs, and to maintain herself, she was the pretty shoes, pretty clothes, you're getting it straight, barrels coming from far, and you think life is easy. But when I touched down in London, the narrative changed. I couldn't realize what was going on. So I just quickly had to just know that, what, I had to make sure that I break that generational curse, and I make sure that mommy one day is gonna come out of so many jobs, and can relax and enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. I understand what you mean. I know that you left the island 98. Was that before Reggae Boys went to World Cup, or was it after that World Cup journey that you moved to the UK?
No, it was in August. So I would say it's around about the World Cup time, right?
Mm-hmm.
World Cup just finished, I think, the time
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So Jamaica was making history, and I was also making history as a Jamaican in coming overseas.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was a journey indeed. And tell me how the journey started in terms of, cutting here of professional athlete. Was it a baller first, or if it was another athlete from another sport first, how that journey started?
How the journey started? Well, it
Yeah.
started out with a footballer called Musa Dembele. He popped into my salon one day based off one of his friends just giving him a little nudge that there's a little Jamaican guy down there that's pretty good. This time he was playing for Tottenham. No, he was playing at Fulham, then he moved to Tottenham. Then he moved to China. That's the Musa Dembele amount. And, we became good family friends. He took me to his house. I met his wife, his kids. We become like family friends. He took me to the Euros in Bordeaux in France. And that's when I met the likes of Roger Nangalan and loads of other players. And, since when I met Nangalan, I started to travel to Italy every week for like 4.5 5 years, because he really loved what I was doing. That's when I met, now in Italy, I met Antonio Rudiger, Emerson, the list just started going on and on. And then on coming a knock on my cellular phone one day when I was with Leon Bailey, because Leon and me were very close, I could call him my little brother at the times, like back in the day. I used to be all over in Germany with him. And Chris Martin gave me a call and tell me one of his friends is in the UK and he needed a haircut. And I said, who's that? And he said, Usain Bolt. You know, this time he just lost the race in London in the Olympic Park. And, you know, they needed somebody to really push that confidence through. And of course, that's what I bring. I came, I dropped my bag, you know, I booked my flight. I just brushed my teeth and run because when I heard that call from Usain Bolt, I was like, it was 4 a.m. I was celebrating the birthday for Leon. I'm like, I was on the flight at 6 because he wanted the haircut early in the morning. And I'm like, you know what? I brushed my teeth and I cut, you know, and I was in London. I dropped my bag and I just gave him the HD touch. You know, at that time he was like, he wasn't into too much, you know, fixing up his hair and anything like that. But I'm like, you know what? Don't worry. I'm going to give you that what I know is good for you. And he, you know, he really fell in love with what I do.
Yeah. How much times have you had to like cancel an appointment because a baller needed the next day, the 2 days after to just jump on a plane and go to another country? Plenty times?
Listen, man, a whole heap of time, man. People all disrespect me. Listen, there's times when people spit in my face and tell me, you know what? You're nothing but a little barber, you're this, you're that, you know. And this was when I was coming up. People never showed no respect to what I was doing. But now that I've been, you know, I've put myself at the top, as people would say, of the chain, which I think I'm nowhere near the top right now. Then people start to give me the maximum respect. I'm sitting at the table with things, you know, and the circle is different. People's giving me that credibility and that rating. But bro, people spit in my face, boxed me and all that kind of stuff, disrespected me and my talent, you know. But me and the humble person, the humble Jamaican, I just sat there and I know my goal and I know what I was on. You know what I mean? And of course I had to cancel because nobody knows your journey and your destiny except you. You know, and I would stay tuned into my path. You know, when Usain Bolt took me to Australia when he was playing there, and I spent like about 10 to 14 days with him, you know, socially my thing went crazy. You know, I was rolling with Usain Bolt every day. You know, that was brother. You know, he did a great thing for me, and for that I forever respect what he did for me.
Yeah. And what is it like now in Qatar? You know, is it that you're close to the England team or you're in different camps every day or so?
Well, of course, I'm close to the England team. What's it like in Qatar? Well, I'm from London, and I live in London now. But most of the England team, like Raheem Sterling, is like a brother for me. So I would say I'm more close to the England team. But at the moment, I'm doing the French team. I'm doing the Switzerland team. Sadly, I was doing the Germany team with Antonio Rudiger. He had to come out. You know, and that vexed me still because I'm a brother. You know, you don't want to see your brother to the end. But, you know, you can't have the whole of your brother them to the end because I have so much good friends that's playing right now. People see me and say, what team you're supporting? I'm sitting on the fence, right? I'm sitting on the fence. But if you're supposed to ask me, I'm going to jump off the fence. I'll jump off the fence for England because that's where my kids are. That's where my family is, you know? And that's where I reside at the moment. And of course, Raheem Sterling, you know, he's achieved so much greatness and he's helping so much people. And I would like to see him do something great and become that great legend that he is.
Yeah. And when you thought about Leon Bailey, you know, he's come to England and he's hit the ground running, you know, thought about his performance and, you know, the interaction you've had with him when you've worked with him as well.
Yeah, yeah. You know, no, I see Leon. I'm very happy for Leon and his career because, you know, I know where he's coming from. I know where he can go, and I know that what party he's on. You know, so I'm happy to see him in London, and he's doing really well at the moment. And you know, congrats to him. What he can do for the Jamaican team, yeah, that's another thing as well. I'm hoping to see them one day in the World Cup representing. You know, and from what he's coming from the roots and everything, motivating and inspiring also the youths out there. I gotta say, I applaud him because we had loads of conversation. There's lots of nights when we sit up talking about ambitions and path to take, and it's never been easy. You know, he knocked down a lot of barriers and doors, and I know that he's gonna knock down a lot more. So Leon Bailey, of course, man, I'm happy to see what he's doing at the moment, man. And as another Jamaican to a Jamaican, you know, like things like this, it makes my heart, you know, definitely warm, you know, to see stuff like this.
Yeah. And I'm sure if Reggae Boys call you and say, look, the entire team need a cut, you're ready to come back to the island as well.
Yeah, man, of course. If Reggae Boys call me, I'm doing it for my people, man. I'm doing it for my fellow Jamaicans. Of course, if Reggae Boys call me, there's no greater joy, man. I wish they were here with me in Qatar right now because if you had to choose between Reggae Boys and England, I think that's a no-brainer, right? I'll have to be supporting my people, and I'm talking my generation, my grandparents will be in the grave, happy and smiling.
Yeah, very, very nice. Look, Sheldon, look, really, really appreciate the time. You know, keep up the doing. You're flying the Jamaican flag high over there in Qatar. Keep up the great work, and we'll be in touch for sure.
No, man, thank you very much, man. Big up to you, man. Continue doing what you're doing, bro. No problem.
No